it going? So a little bit about me. I'm half Jewish, half black, and disabled, but other than that, I'm having a good day. How are you? I'd like to mention off the top that I have a disability. Most of you guys probably noticed that I have a disability. If you didn't notice, you might also have a disability. Congratulations, welcome to the club. Being biracial and disabled did make me feel a little bit out of place sometimes, like not as out of place as Russell Crowe in the movie version of Les Mis. But, like, in the ballpark, you know what I mean? I don't know. Also, I can find myself in the middle of some really, uncomfortable conversations, like when my parents would argue about who's more historically oppressed, the blacks or the Jews. Yeah, I heard some buttholes clench up there. But honestly, I think we all secretly do know the answer to that question, so why don't we say it together on 3? 1, 2, Lenny Kravitz. I'm Jewish, but I do consider myself a practicing Jew, which is, Seattle's a very secular city, as some of you may know, but I'm a practicing Jew, which can present complications, Like a few weeks ago, I was walking down the street, and this guy comes up to me out of nowhere and offers me a ham sandwich, right? I'm like, is this temptation? I don't know. So I ate it immediately and it was delicious. And then I kept on walking, and then another guy walks up to me and he's like, hey, you weren't supposed to do that, dietary restrictions, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey man, I'm practicing, I don't have it quite down yet. It's a work in progress. You guys might be wondering how my parents met. If not, I'll tell you anyway. My parents went to college in the early 70s, and they actually met in a women and black history class, right? Yeah, and this was like the early 70s, a white guy, taking this class. I think in that time, if you were to see a white man taking a women and black history course, you'd say man, this guy is very progressive and forward thinking, right, for his time. But I think now we look back on it and say, man, that guy had a fetish. And look, I'm not trying to kink shame anyone, I obviously wouldn't be here without it, look, what I'm really trying to say is, some people hunger for knowledge, some people thirst for it, Thank you. I have some interesting, maybe controversial opinions about religion that I can tell you about if you want to hear about them. Thank you. So I don't believe in the divinity of Christ. Okay, I'm going to say that up top. But not only that, I do not believe that Jesus Christ existed. Yeah, and this is that was a cough. That was just a cough. Sorry. Okay. That's what we can all believe. If Jesus Christ did exist, there would definitely be at least one book of the Bible of his Jewish mother Mary bragging about her son to all of her friends, right? Have you heard about my son Jesus? He's the Son of God, but also God. He'll turn water into wine, and for a very fair price. I know. I also think, let's say Jesus did exist and Son of God and all that stuff. Did Mary convert? Because imagine saying my heavenly Father to the person that is your son, and also kind of your baby daddy. Look, I'm not trying to be controversial, but all I'm saying is, I think if you really think about the Bible, it seems like they just took the plot of the first Back to the Future movie and replaced all the characters with shoes. I have a disability. I talked about that a little bit. In spite of that, I try to be self-sufficient, do things on my own. I know there's certain things I'll never be able to do, like use chopsticks, right, or play chopsticks. But I don't know. I can do most things people need their fingers for. I think we all know the two most important things people need their fingers for, and that's playing video games and finger banging. Right? Any video game fans in the house? And honestly, pro tip, the trick is the same for both. And then up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. And then just keep doing it over and over again. I don't know. Interesting things happened to me. A few weeks ago, someone came up to me at a bus stop. I was like at a bus stop, actually right here in Capitol Hill, waiting for the number 60. And I was drinking a cup of coffee. This guy walks up and drops a $5 bill right in my coffee. Right? And yeah, I was livid, because I was drinking that. And look, drinking coffee is not the sole privilege of members of the five-figure community, okay? Like, you guys don't own that. Now, even worse is that this is a Vivace coffee, and so the $5 you gave me wasn't even enough money to go buy another one. Yeah, that's a political joke right there. Don't like to get political. Another time I was at a bus stop, this guy, I was approached by a Metro Transit guy with like one of those orange vests or whatever, and he comes up to me. And you guys take public transit, you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. All right, okay. Check with Paul, okay. The guy comes up to me, and he says, did you make a call to Metro about a man not wearing any pants? Right? This is like a strange intro to a conversation, okay? But he says this to me, and I say no, because I had not made such a phone call, okay? And then he kind of like nods his head, to the left, and he says, is that him? Now, a lot to unpack here, okay? First thing I'll say is this. If you're ever in a situation where there's been mention made of a pantsless person, and someone nods their head as though to indicate where this person is, you're going to have a natural inclination to, glance in that direction. But you really need to fight this instinct, okay? Secondly, I've already said I wasn't the one who made the call. So obviously this guy has more information than I do already, right? But anyway, yeah, I glance over and there's a pantsless man, and the guy says, yeah, is that him? And I'm like, look, I don't know, but it's probably him, right? I mean, is there a pantsless guy at every bus stop along the, I don't know. I just can imagine if this is the guy getting the call for a serial killer, like Jeffrey Dahmer, And he shows up and there's a cannibalism in progress, And he says, hey, are you the guy? And he says, no, Dahmer is at the next bus stop, right? I mean, it was him. I'm sure it was him. I'm positive it was him. I don't know. I work at PCC. All right, you guys know PCC, right? You guys shop there, or stolen from there. Yeah, I work at PCC, and yeah, it's a lot of certain type of clientele that shops at PCC, right? I got a lot of interesting questions there. One time, someone asked me what the difference was between brown eggs and white eggs, right? Like, brown eggs are 3 times more likely to get shot at by the police? Like, is that... White eggs have 8 times the generational wealth? Like, I don't know. Is that... I don't know. I'm just talking about eggs, guys. I'm only talking about eggs. This isn't a metaphor for societal ills. I don't know what you're talking about. Another time, someone called up and asked if we had any grass-fed butter. Has anyone heard of grass-fed butter as a thing that, I know about grass-fed beef, right? Everyone knows about grass-fed beef. Grass-fed butter, you guys heard of this? No, okay. I'll take your silence as a no. So yeah, I never heard of this, so I go to the butter section and I look, and actually there was some grass-fed butter. So I go back to the phone and I say, yeah, like we have some grass-fed butter. And she says, okay, what percentage grass-fed is it? What? Like, I didn't even remember what it says. I don't know. So I walk back, and it said 95% grass-fed. So I go back and I tell her, and it's 95%. But it also does beg the question: what's the other 5%? Right? I mean, they're very conspicuously leaving something out, right? I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer might have been 95% grass-fed, but it's definitely another 5% of something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys follow, the news, politics? No, okay, yeah, me neither. Things are, we're living in dark times, I'm finding that, xenophobia, Islamophobia, racism are all on the rise. As a Jewish person, I hear terrible slurs against Jews, I've heard people say the Jews did 9/11, or global warming is a Jewish hoax. I've even heard people say the Jews are responsible for casting Russell Crowe in the movie version of Les Mis. Which is probably true. I don't know. I can look it up. I don't know. I'll leave you with this. I'm biracial, and there's a fairly new black comedy club that opened. I won't tell you where it is, or because it's a competing venue, right? I don't want to give them undue, marketing, but I mean, also there's only one black comedy club in the Pacific Northwest, so it's, you can just look it up and look hard to find. Yeah, I did a set there a few months ago, and it did really. I got crushed. I did really well, and it's very affirming for me as a biracial person. Like, I can really say that crushing at a black comedy club is the blackest thing I've ever done. And then telling you guys about it is the whitest thing I've ever done.